A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Join us as we take you through the captivating journey of Basic Rights Counsel Initiative through her 10 years of existence. The organization was founded by Ese and James Ibor in 2011 with a view to providing frontline legal and support services to children and vulnerable people in Cross River State, Nigeria.
Basic Rights Counsel Initiative was established to provide legal services and other support services to children who are abused, specifically for children who are accused of witchcraft. We went out to the streets and discovered that there are over 500 vulnerable children walking the streets of Calabar, homeless. We interviewed many of them, and we discovered that over 80% of these children were forced out of home on account of witchcraft accusation and stigmatization.
Basic Rights Counsel Initiative has become well respected nationally and internationally for their work on witchcraft accusations and their fearless and courageous stance that children cannot be witches or wizards.
And who promotes this idea, who indoctrinates these families, are pastors, are bishops, are apostles. They've written books, they've acted films that has promoted this belief.
This person is a boy going to face. Listen, could you go back? Pray by 9 o'clock. Say God, demon, on blushing. After 7. So you read, you don't understand. The Lord says you should take in the name of Jesus.
Nobody will tell you I've seen a witch. Nobody has been able to prove to us that they are witches and wizards. For the past 10 years, we have rescued so many of them. Unfortunately, we've not been able to get any conviction. This is because the belief is so deep-rooted, even when there are no facts. We've recorded over 30 convictions on sexual assault and other abuses, but not one on witchcraft branding and stigmatization. We have recently reviewed our strategy and targeting religious bodies. The reason is because it has been discovered primarily they are the ones who have made it very difficult for us to record as many successes we would have wished to record. Though we've rescued so many, though we've rehabilitated so many, not even one conviction. The ones I can quickly remember were the ones that were locked up in a room to die, no food, no water. And we physically actually broke into those rooms and rescued them. It will surprise you the police were not interested in investigating the cause of that attempted murder on these children. We have these footages, we have pictures, we have evidence, but none of them has been prosecuted successfully. The reason is because the police are not interested or they are not liberated or trained to carry out this investigation.
In amongst the great challenges of working on this difficult issue, there has been a number of success stories where children's lives have been saved and transformed through the work of Basic Rights Counsel Initiative, and David is one of them.
So my stepmom started saying, I'm a witch. She keeps saying that I'm a witch until one day she took me to a church to conduct deliverance. And when we went there, the man said, the pastor said they should trust me that he's going to conduct deliverance for me and really know if I was a witch. She suspects. So my dad now took me home. Then he started beating me, and it was so painful, I couldn't bear it. So that was how I left the house and started staying on the street. So when I went there, anytime they asked me, what's your name? I said, I'm David. So that was how the name David came. I changed my name, so everybody in the street knows me as David, because I didn't want anybody to trace me and take me home. Because I know if they take me home this second time, my dad might just kill me. So that was why I had to change my name to David. In short, I personally had to develop a strategy, because in the streets, you have to bring ideas so that you can survive anyhow. So I had to bring up an idea. And in the street, sometimes we used to be sick, surviving, but there is no care. Nobody will care for you. We used to see Barrister James. He used to come around.
Eventually, after 3 years of surviving on the street, David was rescued and found a loving foster home. He is now studying for a degree in engineering at the University of Calabar. David's story has inspired others to become more aware of the plight of children accused of witchcraft.
Today's topic is witch child. All over Nigeria, hundreds of thousands of children are accused daily by religious organizations, family and relatives of being witches. The consequences of this accusation can be really dire, as these children are often tortured, punished, or cast aside by their family. This topic and this issue has had a lot of publicity, a lot of conversations going on about. As he ran when he was 12, and he was on the street for 3 years, so he must have been 15 or thereabouts when you found him.
Yes.
What state was he in when you found him?
Before we organized the first International Day for Street Children, we've interacted with most of them, because first we needed to get them to know us before the program. So while we were interacting with them, we discovered that he was a leader he had control over other street kids and very articulate. So we picked interest in him. So on the day of the event, he helped to mobilize other street kids to the event, and we gave him opportunity. In fact, he told me that if we don't send him to the high table, he's going to get all the street children to leave the hall. I said, of course, you mobilize them. We are going to, the essence of organizing this program is to give you a voice. First, I was struck that he walked up to me and told me that. That made me very happy and gave me the confidence to continue to relate with him. So initially, the program was that he would be called out to talk. But when he protested, we gave him a seat on the high table, where he sat with pastors, with other government officials. And I saw his self-esteem lifted up. He developed it immediately, and we were happy. And when we gave him opportunity to talk, he exploded. And immediately after the program, we asked them, those of them that want to stay in a proper family home. So he was among those that accepted, and he was placed in Sidri with Dr. and Mrs. Onoyomita, where the journey of his rehabilitation started. And I'm happy to say, today he's an electrical technician and a second-year engineering student in University of Cross River State. So we are very proud of him. And his story is not just, makes me, sometimes we get confused that with all these cases we have, are we actually making progress? But his story is a motivation. It gives us the courage to do more. And we hope government will wake up to know that it is actually their sole primary responsibility to keep children safe.
It is very easy for politicians, for parents to say, yes, children are the leaders of tomorrow, but what are we doing to actually prepare children for leadership? Is it by accusing them of witchcraft? Is it by branding them? Is it by sexually abusing them? Is it by stigmatizing them?
The fearless frontline human rights activism that Basic Rights Counsel Initiative carries out is not without enemies, and there have been a number of threats, intimidations, and court cases over the years.
And this witchcraft thing is based on superstition. It doesn't exist, but children are losing their lives because of it. Adults, their houses are being burned. Families are being destroyed because of it. So our people needed to be educated on the stupidity of the system.
The child rescue missions are particularly fraught with danger as communities fear such children and the people who are trying to save them. Grace's story is just one of many that Basic Rights Counsel Initiative receives calls about on a weekly basis.
My papa can't drop the Bible and the broom when I'm in the roof for hand. Can't call the wife, tell them say, we be winch.
This is the home of the judiciary officer who called our phone, inviting us that there are children here that have been locked up for many days, no food, no water, after they were accused of witchcraft. And we responded immediately.
This is where my dad and my stepmom used to live before. We also staying here, but I don't know what happened one day. He just took us to this other side here. He took us here where we were staying with my sisters and with my siblings. Then when he went out like for 3 days, he didn't give us normal food to eat, anything to eat at all. So now this community people was giving us food, and this food is...
Grace is now safe and well in our emergency shelter and is attending school. Her 2 other siblings are with a maternal aunt but need more support. We hope to secure a foster family for them all, but it is not so easy, and we really need more support to recruit more foster families.
Some people have asked me, how do I cope? I try to cope as much as I can because I know that we are trying to build a society that is better for all children, because the child you don't help today will come back tomorrow to haunt your own children. I woke up one morning and I saw some fetish items that were placed at the front of my door. My husband has been beaten before by security agents. I just gave birth to our daughter then. All these things they were doing to scare us and to deter us from doing what we were doing. But if anything, it only confirmed that what we were doing was right and prepared us to even want to do more. Our vision is enhancing quality life for women and children. And our core values include best interests of the child, non-discrimination, good governance, promoting secularism, equity, and justice. When I look at BRCI's future, it is not with fear or trepidation. It is with great optimism, because we have a clear-cut vision and we are determined to ensure that that vision becomes a reality. So I see us as the foremost organization, not only in Cross River State, but in Nigeria and indeed in the entire world. So I would say that the future is bright for us.
In order to deliver our vision, Basic Rights Counsel Initiative offers the following frontline services to those at risk of abuse. We rescue vulnerable and stigmatized children. This critical first step is often necessary to keep the children alive. Our emergency children's shelter provides a safe place for children to stay whilst we assess their needs and how best to address them. All children are provided with counseling and medical support by a trained professional. Every effort is made to reunite children with their families. In cases where this is not possible, we look to find foster carers for the children via our newly established foster care network. We properly document all cases of child abuse and file legal suits at the appropriate courts at no cost to the victims.
Our biggest strength is the legal advocacy we carry out and support services for children who need to be safeguarded. This led to the inauguration of family courts in most states that have adopted the Child Rights Act.
Our work to advocate for the rights of the most vulnerable children has led to Basic Rights Counsel Initiative talking at a wide range of national and international conferences and workshops, including talking at the UN Human Rights Council in Geneva. Some of the key successes of our work to date include: we have documented 2001 child abuse cases out of which 715 were provided protection and case management services. We have provided direct health, economic empowerment, legal and educational support to 305 households whose cases we are handling. Contributed via advocacy to the passage of the Cross River State Child's Right Law in 2009. Successfully facilitated the inauguration of family courts in the Cross River State as part of efforts towards implementation of the Child's Rights Law. BRCI was the first to file an action and get a judgment in the family court. So far, we have facilitated successful prosecution judgments for over 50 child abuse cases in the family courts in Nigeria between 2012 to January 2021. These cases included cases of child rape, abandonment, trafficking, and prostitution. Basic Rights Counsel Initiative has successfully coordinated the activities of Prevent Abuse of Children Today, PACT, a coalition of CSOs in Cross River State since 2011, and coordinates the UNICEF Child Protection Network in Cross River State. Starting with humble roots back in 2011, our Inspirational team is now made up of 16 core staff members and 9 volunteers who work tirelessly to defend and uphold the rights of children.
I started working with Basic Rights Counsel Initiative in 2016. I would say Basic Rights Counsel Initiative is a movement. It has given life to a lot of children. It has given hope. It has restored some children's destiny, and I know it will continue to do so.
Our foster care network has been a particularly big success, with 12 children having been fostered with one of the 45 caring families that now make up the network. Patrick and Stella Uzu are one such family.
We got the privilege, the opportunity to foster some children on behalf of this organization. And for us, it was a very, very, very humbling experience. When the young ladies were leaving, we wish that they stayed with us forever. And it's an experience we'd like to have again.
Over the years, Basic Rights Counsel Initiative has received wide-ranging media coverage from national and international organizations like the BBC, The Guardian, Al Jazeera, and many more. They have also submitted reports to a wide range of UN bodies and have spoken in many committees and conferences around the world.
I've been very, very fortunate in that I've been part of the journey of BRCI from day one of the project. So I've seen them grow and mature into one of the most amazing organisations that I've ever had the honour of working with. So the Basic Rights Counsel Initiative are, in my experience, one of the most passionate, effective, dedicated, hardcore human rights defenders that I've ever come across in my life. I have massive respect for their work, and it's incredible to see how they've gone from this tiny organisation with James and Ese setting it up 10 years ago into this mature, incredible, effective organisation now. And I think the things that define BRCI for me, aside from their, very strong values and commitment to human rights, they're extremely professional, they're very thorough with their work, and they work right on the front line in the trenches of the human rights arena, doing work that most people would never be able to carry out. So they have my utmost respect and massive gratitude for everything that they've achieved over the last 10 years. And I wish them all the very best for the next 10 years to come.
To all the staff and volunteers at Basic Rights Counsel Initiative, congratulations on your 10-year anniversary. In 2011, I had the fortuitous and privileged opportunity to work with Basic Rights Counsel Initiative as the legal intern for the Bar Human Rights Committee of England and Wales. Together, we built capacity of NGO workers to document, monitor, investigate and report cases of child abuse. We achieved a great deal in that 1 year that I was there in Nigeria. We supported numerous children who were subjected to serious child abuse. We investigated hundreds of cases, and we also took a number of cases to court successfully. I wish you all the best for all your future endeavours. The organisation has grown into a reputable, strong force in Nigeria, supporting children who've been subjected to some horrific ordeals, and they are very fortunate to have you as an organisation. Congratulations on your 10 years, and I look forward to seeing what you achieve in the next 10.
Basic Rights Counsel initiatives, operations and activities are funded with the kind support of individuals and corporation organizations. Over the years, our major source of funding has been from Safe Child Africa, formerly Stepping Stones Nigeria, who have stood by our side at all steps of our journey. We are also grateful to Universal Learning Solutions, Ford Foundation, Nottingham University, Witchcraft and Human Rights Information Network, ActionAid, UNICEF, Clean Foundation, and Louise and Gilbert Jolly for all of the great support over the years. Thank you so much.
And today, I'm happy I'm staying on my own. I pay my rent, I pay other bills, and working at the same time and also going to school. So I'm really happy because I believe I'm pursuing my goals, and I certainly believe that I'm going to achieve it.
As we look forward to delivering another 10 years of success, we thank all our volunteers, Board of Trustees, and all of our supporters in government, churches, NGOs, and the community who gives us the strength to continue to deliver our vision. Thank you all so much for working with us to save and transform the lives of the less privileged.
Oh, Ibor Sasama, oh, Sasama, oh. In Menemuyo, oh, in Menemuyo.